Jodi Arias trial. The jury deadlocked over her fate after deliberating for 3 days and 13 hours. We'll talk exclusively to the jury foreman in just a moment, but first, here's Ryan Owens with the very latest on the story. Ryan.
Good morning, Elizabeth. The jury foreman says there was a significant split on this jury from the beginning. Not just one or two holdouts who did not want to execute Jodi Arias, but several. Enough that they knew from the minute they got back in that jury room they were hopelessly
Hey, you
deadlocked.
receive an email about a free seminar.
Signed foreperson. Is this your true verdict, so say you want to know?
Yes. A mistrial. It was the outcome neither side wanted. Jodi Arias exhaled and couldn't seem to believe it. Her victim's family simply collapsed in anguish. They will have to live through this nightmare yet again. Several jurors cried. One mouthed, "I'm so sorry," to Travis Alexander's family.
This was not your typical trial. You were asked to perform very difficult responsibilities.
Prosecutor Juan Martinez's face seemed to say it all, but he's as determined as ever to send Jodi Arias to death row. Just minutes after the deadlocked jury went home and Arias was whisked back to jail, Martinez's boss, the county attorney, said they would try the penalty phase again with a new jury. Right now, the retrial of just the penalty phase of this trial is set for July. That will almost certainly be delayed. Keep in mind, a brand new jury must be chosen, and then they will have to hear a significant amount of this graphic evidence all over again. Elizabeth.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Let's bring in now the jury foreman, Bill Zervakis. Good morning, Bill. It's really great to have you here. You did say you had a hard time believing she would be capable of just looking at her, that she could be capable of doing this.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I walked in the courtroom the first time and looked at who the defendant was, you know, it's hard to put that in perspective when you look at a young woman and think of the crime, and then you see the brutality of the crime. It just doesn't wash. So it's very difficult to divest yourself from the personal, from the emotional part of it.
You did find her guilty of killing another man and taking another life. You said you did not believe her story that she murdered Travis Alexander in self-defense, but you say you do believe that Travis Alexander did emotionally and mentally abuse Jodi?
I'm very sure in my own mind that she was mentally and verbally abused. Now, is that an excuse? Of course not. Does it factor into decisions that we make? It has to.
Do you think she did herself any favors on the stand? There's been a lot of debate over whether those 18 days of testimony helped or hurt her.
No, I think 18 days hurt her. I think she was not a good witness. You know, we go into we're charged with going into presuming innocence, right? But she was on the stand for so long.
Hi, everyone.
There were so many contradicting stories. I think the way the prosecutor was with her, he's known for an aggressive style. I think it was very hard. I think it'd be difficult for anybody. I don't think I want to sit on the stand for 18 days. But I don't think it did her any good, no. That length of time, no, I don't think it did her any good at all.
And you did say the most gut-wrenching part of this entire experience for you was listening to the family of Travis Alexander talk about their loss. What was that like?
Yeah, that's a great question, Elizabeth. If only I had a good answer. Until you're face-to-face with people that have gone through something like that, it's something that you really can't put into words. I'm 6 feet away from somebody talking about a horrendous loss. And if you can't feel that, then you have no emotion, no soul. And yet we couldn't allow ourselves to be emotional on the stand. We couldn't allow ourselves. And I'm very, very proud of my because they did a fantastic job of holding it together. But wrenching had to make their own decision.
Bill Zervakis, thank you so much for your service on the jury and for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Well, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
sure there's going to be a lot of partial